Hi, my name is Deborah and this is the Edit by DH. Welcome to another video, guys. Today I'll be reviewing Holiday and specifically Hourglass Holiday 2021. So as part of their Holiday 2021 collection, they have 3 products that they've launched. I don't know whether they'll add more in the future, perhaps they will, but for now, they've just launched 3 products. One of which is the Ambient Lighting Edit Palette in Color Universe, and then there's a second version of this, which is called Universe Unlocked, but I got the Universe version, so I'll show you that in just a moment. They also launched another palette called the Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 3, which I will briefly talk about at the end when I'm just going through my final thoughts. So as I said earlier, I've got the Ambient Lighting Edit Universe Palette. So this is what it looks like, and it's £79. How gorgeous is the packaging? How it feels and looks is quite different to the usual material that Hourglass use. This, I believe, is the same material that they used for the Curator palette that I've previously reviewed, and I will put a link for that down below. If it is the same material as this packaging, it means it's made out of tin and PCR, which is post-consumer recycled plastic. So I don't know, maybe they're heading in the direction of, making all their palettes in this material to be more environmentally friendly, sustainable. I'm not sure. On that note, I just want to pause here for a minute and speak about this palette. So when I previously reviewed this, I mentioned that I liked this packaging, and quite a few people disagreed with me, saying that they felt that it looks cheap and not worth the price, basically. Obviously, it is an expensive brand, it is expensive for what it is, but I did like the quality of the eyeshadows. They were brilliant, and I still stand by that opinion. I think that the packaging looks great. Let me just show you again. When I'm reviewing, or when any beauty blogger is reviewing anything, it's their own opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm right if I like it, doesn't mean you're right if you dislike it. It just means that we all have different tastes. Makeup is subjective, so it's really hard. Like, what I think is beautiful, you might not, and vice versa. I pride myself on honest reviews, and I would hope that comes across, and I think it does with the majority of you. There's nothing personal here. Sometimes I will speak favorably of a brand, sometimes I won't. Either way, what I'm trying to do and trying to stay consistent with is just being true to myself and being honest as possible as I can about each product. So I just wanted to put it out there. So going back to the packaging of this palette, like I said, I believe it's the same material as the Curator eyeshadow palette, and in my opinion, I think that it's a beautiful palette. On the lid, it looks like it's got like a marble effect, and it's got this gold embossing, as you can see, like through the marble cracks almost. And just to say, it's quite weighty as well. So again, someone once asked whether weight equates to being more expensive. And again, this could be subjective, but personally I think it does. So if something is very light, it doesn't feel very expensive. When something is weighty, it does feel more luxurious. So when you open up the palette, it's got a mirror in there that you guys know that I love. So it's got one finishing powder, which is called the Infinity Powder. It's got 2 blushes. This strobe blush is called Vibrant Heat, and this bottom blush is just called Blush, and it's called Luminous Rose. I'm assuming a strobe blush has a little bit more glow to it, but it'd be great if somebody could just clarify for me in the comment section down below. Then we have one bronzer at the top, which is called Glistening Bronze Light, and then finally one strobe powder, which is otherwise a highlighter, and it's called Supernatural Strobe Light. So you've basically got a finishing powder, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlighter. So technically you've got everything that you need color wise for your face in one palette, plus a mirror. So again, very travel friendly, very handbag friendly if you're that person that likes to carry makeup in their bag, etc. So just to explain, I've got some foundation on, I've got a little bit of contour on, a girl needs some contour, and then a little bit of eye makeup on as well. Also, I have the Hourglass Velvet Story Lip Cream on. It's like a very velvety, creamy matte liquid lip product, and it's in the color Pure. So again, I will link the video where I reviewed this and a few other colors in this collection down below. So it says this palette is available for the holiday season, so meaning it's limited edition. Universe features 4 brand new shades of ambient lighting powder, the groundbreaking finishing powder that recreates the most flattering light sources, along with the infinity powder. It includes 4 limited edition shades of blush, bronzer and highlighter. The name Universe and the design of the palette are inspired by the universe swirl texture of the powders, which channel a celestial glow. The powders are handmade using an advanced ℙ𝕝𝕕𝕗𝕗 technique, meaning no two are exactly alike. I think the ℙ𝕝𝕗𝕗𝕗 technique, if I'm correct, is an Italian word for blending or mixing. So it must be a unique technique, therefore no two are exactly alike. So on the back it says 1.4 grams times 4, so I'm assuming this is 1.4 grams times 4, and then it says 4 grams, so I'm assuming this is 4 grams and then this is 1.4 grams per pan. I always find with the Hourglass palettes, this is something I would say, I love Hourglass, you know I do, you know I love this sort of formula. One thing I would say about their palettes are they're a little bit, I don't know if misleading is the right word, but you almost think that there's a lot more product in here than there is. So it basically means that although the surface area is wide, you're going to hit pan really quickly because there's actually not a lot of product. Having said that, powders generally tend to last way longer than any other like cream, liquid, so it will still you know, last you a decent time depending on how frequently you use it. Right, enough waffling and more application. I thought I would go in with the infinity powder first, which is what I would normally do. I don't actually have any highlighter on, so my skin is looking super glowy right now. I don't know why. I think it's probably because of my skincare. So I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and just apply it where I normally would apply powder. I don't feel like the purpose of this powder is to mattify. I feel like it's to kind of slightly set your makeup but also give it a natural lit from within glow. So that's the powder. It basically says with the infinity powder that it fuses 3 acclaimed shades of ambient powder in one, so diffuse light, dim light and hypnotic strobe light. Then since we have 2 blushes and since I happen to have 2 cheeks, I will do 1 shade on each cheek. So going in with one side of my blush brush. So I'm going in with the top shade, which is Vibrant Heat. I don't know if you guys can see, it's like a hot pink and it looks really nice. It's this kind of colour that would look really gorgeous on holiday when you've got a tan. It's gorgeous, and I definitely think it's got that strobe light in it because even though my skin was looking glowy from beforehand, I feel like it's amplified the glow. What do you guys think? So that is the Vibrant Heat shade. Then I'm going to go in with the Luminous Rose, which is at the bottom, and I'll go in with the other clean side. So can you see the difference? This is Luminous Rose and you can see it's a softer pink, and here it's more of, like I said, a kind of a poppy vibe. The name actually suits it, is more of a vibrant pink. So that's Vibrant Heat and Luminous Rose, which is more of a muted pink. Both are really nice, it just depends what you prefer. Which do you guys prefer on me? So just to make that clear, these 2 shades are new. In fact, all 4 of these shades are apparently new. It's only the Infinity powder that isn't new. Then I'm going to go in with the bronzer. So like I said, I already have a little bit of contour, but now I just kind of want to warm up my complexion. So I'm almost just going to go over my contour again and take it higher where my forehead is. I definitely can see a warmth and change in my complexion. What do you guys think? I feel like I have literally just been on a gondola ride in Venice and have caught the sun, apart from my neck where you can see I'm so pasty. But what do you guys think? I think it's so gorgeous. And the one thing I always say and love about Hourglass is that it always gives you that lit from within glow. I hate that sort of like pearly, pearlescent finish where when you see the skin up close, it just looks really artificial with like the almost like the shimmer particles, and they're very visible sitting on the top of your skin and in between the fine lines of your skin. But when you look at this formula up close, it just looks like your skin is dewy AF. And that is because it contains a photoluminescent technology to diffuse surrounding light for skin that appears lit from within. And it's not just this palette. I know that that's a very common sort of like ingredient or technology that's used in the majority of Hourglass products, and that's what creates this beautiful glow. And there's none quite like it actually in terms of highlighters. The highlighters I feel like either are very artificial looking, or the ones that don't look artificial and look dewy, they're almost like powering in your face and super dewy. But if you don't want either or, where you don't want the artificial, you don't want to be seen from planet Jupiter, then I would recommend Hourglass. Last but not least, I will go in with the highlighter. Not that I need it at this stage because I am pretty glowy, but just to finish off the look, I'm now going to go in with a smaller highlight brush and just target the high points of my face. I don't know if you guys can see, but that's definitely added glow, even more glow. So like I said earlier, this is the Ambient Lighting Edit Universe palette, and then there is the Universe Unlocked palette. So I will put that on the screen now. Personally, I was more drawn to, and the Universe palette appealed to me more, and I feel like that would be the case for the majority of you. Obviously, the Universe Unlocked palette is also £79. The only difference is that the colour of the marble packaging or design on the outside is slightly darker. I also wanted to quickly touch upon the Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 3. This is a little controversial. So as you guys know or may not know, Hourglass revealed an Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 1 and 2. And they were obviously for fairer skin tones. So the controversy lay in the release of the Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 2. The problem was, and Hourglass's fault was, they used a black model to advertise that basically, in other words, it was a universal palette and suited all skin types. When the palette was actually released, the palette was a lot lighter than loads of people expected, and it was a shame because there was such a hype and a build up to it, and a lot of people were like, finally Hourglass are catering, you know, a highlighter for darker, richer, deeper skin tones. And when it finally launched, loads of people were like, oh, it's really misleading because actually it doesn't suit darker skin tones, and actually it's not good enough, blah blah blah. I think the color of the like shades were completely different in real life versus what it looked like online. At the time when there was this whole hoo-ha, and rightly so, they apparently already had this lighting palette volume 3 in the works, so they already knew that it was happening, which to me isn't surprising because, guys, things like this, they don't just happen over a couple of months. You know, it takes ages for these products to be actually like made, because there is the planning process and there's the signing off process, even the trying process in the factory. Like, you have to make it so many times to make sure it's the right formula and it's the right shades and whatnot, and the packaging and everything. There's just so many steps in that process for a makeup to be signed off. So they would have known that volume 3 was coming for a long time, and I don't know why, when clearly volume 3 is totally appropriate for deeper, richer skin tones, I don't know why at that point of the backlash and all of that, why they didn't just announce that actually volume 3 was coming out. More than importantly, they shouldn't have marketed the second one on a, and you know, use their black model. So it's just one of those things. But I am happy that they have released volume 3, but I just perhaps wonder if it's a little too late. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly drop that in there, but I am really happy with this palette, and I would love to know your thoughts on it. What do you think of the final look? I am impressed. I mean, there's never really been a time where I haven't been impressed by an Hourglass palette, to be honest, and this is just another one of those palettes that I absolutely love and probably will reach for time in, time out. Like I said, it's great for traveling, it's great as a gift, especially with Christmas and the festive season coming up. So I would give it a big thumbs up, but would love to know what you guys think. And like I said, this is just my opinion. Just to be clear as well, I got this palette from Space NK, therefore the affiliate link you will see down below is specifically for Space NK. What it means is that if you are interested in purchasing this palette, I would really be grateful if you could purchase through my affiliate link. It doesn't cost you any additional money, it just means that I earn a small commission through you purchasing it through the link. And on the note of Space NK, I recently reviewed the advent calendar, which is sort of sneakily sitting in the back, so I will also link the video for that advent calendar down below. I hope you enjoyed this sweet and short video and review on the Hourglass palette, and I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves.